Hey everyone,
Hello, everybody.
how y'all doing today?
We're doing good. How you doing today? I'm speaking for the folks. I'm speaking for the
Speaking
folks.
for the people.
Speaking for the people. I'm
So
the voice of
silly.
the people. All right.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? My name is Pedro,
My name is Tara.
and this is the Goddard's
Really Raw
podcast.
Podcast.
We want to thank you for joining us today. As we said before, we're going to start doing some recordings. So this is one of them.
That's right.
And we just want to say thank you for joining us and hope that you be blessed by what we're about to talk about.
hmm
So first off, as we always do, how was your week
My
or
week,
the midweek? Because we're
my
doing this.
midweek, it's been good. It's been good. I've been tired lately,
Mm.
but it's my woman thing. I'm just going through at the
Yeah, I
moment.
stay away from you when that the time comes.
My woman,
I stay away. I
right.
don't. Yeah.
I've been good this time. I've been keeping my composure.
No, you
I
haven't.
just been resting.
We just finished arguing because you're thinking, not arguing, but we just finished having a heated discussion
Yeah,
because
you
you
really
want to
need to
think.
learn how to choose your words. But this is the thing, I think us women go through so many changes in our
Men go
lives.
through changes too.
But like I said, I just think these women go through so many changes,
We
having
go through depression.
children.
We go through midlife crisis. We go through
You asking
things.
me a question? Let me answer the question, man. So what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, our bodies go through all these different changes, having children, and as you get older, you start really feeling those things. It's just like, my
Mm.
goodness, it's got to be like this,
It sounds like a Mother's Day thing all over again.
right? It does.
Hmm.
It truly
Yeah,
does.
it really does. We got all these issues, so we know we should be treated differently. Men get, we get, railroad pretty much.
Not necessarily. I have a lot of respect for fathers because you guys put in the work too. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
think it's important that both people put in the work if they want to, and then that's just what I think. I don't just throw the fathers all away. You get me?
Hey, nobody say you throw them all away. I'm just saying, you say, "Oh, I've had a rough week."
No, some days I'm feeling really good. Some weeks it's going great, but then you have your moments where you're just not feeling well. You know
Yeah, I
how it
understand.
goes. How about you?
My week has been good, busy.
Busy, busy in the car.
Busy in the car. I spend more time in the car than I do in the house. I
That's
feel
true.
like the car's mother. I finally got it clean today. Oh, the
Mm,
poor thing.
that poor
I
car
was
went
treating my
is
car.
going
I
through.
was treating that car bad.
I'm getting in the car. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, Peter, you don't live like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is the car like this? Why
Cause
is it
I
trash
listen.
everywhere?
No, I didn't have trash everywhere. I had little, I had trash, but I take the trash out. Like I said, as I'm driving around, instead of throwing it out on the street, I don't have a chance sometimes to put it in the garbage. So I put it on the other side of the, you're
Uh,
not there. So I put it on the floor where you sit.
all I'm saying is that it don't take much to get a bag. You get me?
It does
A
take a lot to get
garbage
it
bag.
back.
You
You
can
have to get
literally
up, go into the house, find a bag, rip it, take it back out, and then put the garbage in.
Peter, the type of man that you are, right? You
Hmm.
always have stuff in the car. You can't have garbage
I do have
bags
garbage
in
bags
the
in the
car.
car. I
See,
do.
I know you do. I know you do because you're just like your father.
But the thing about it is that it's not that. I try to put the garbage, I do, but I don't. I forget sometimes to put the bags. I just throw it on the side, and then when I have a chance, I
That's
put
just
it in the
lazy.
bag.
You lazy
Wait, well,
son of a
it's
gun.
lazy. Lazy is throwing it out on the street and just leaving it like everybody else do around here.
That's true. Because I was just telling
The
you
other day, I'm sorry
earlier
to cut you.
today.
Yeah, but
Well, don't be cutting me on. Let me
look, I'm
finish
cutting
my
you up
sentence.
because I'm gonna finish this real quick. The other day, I seen them take, the buckets of chicken.
Right.
They threw the whole bucket of chicken out in the middle of the road and then just drove off. I mean, it was literally at a red light. They just literally took the hand out, dropped, and then took off. And it's in the middle of the road.
Mercy.
I'm like, what is going on? Like, you mean to tell me you couldn't just wait till you got to your destination and put it in the garbage?
Some people just don't have no respect for the
Mm,
earth.
no,
You
they
know?
don't got respect for themselves. But hey, that's a whole nother
I
story.
told you I saw a lady throw a bottle and she saw that I saw her. And she looked at me like, you just saw me do that. Yeah, I just saw you do that. You just left it there. You just threw it on the ground and just left it there. Just disrespectful.
Yeah, it's all day long. I see it all day long. So at least I'm throwing it in the car, and I'm not throwing it outside. So what's the problem, huh?
Well, that's
And
true.
and partly too, nobody else gets in the car. You guys don't get in the car no more. Like really.
Yeah, but we would like to.
And when you get in the car, I clean it.
When you
So
get in the
I
car, babe,
cleaned
you
the.
pushing stuff
I took
around.
I took the
It's
car
stuff
and I
everywhere.
got it clean.
Yeah,
It is
for once.
spick and
For
span clean.
once.
Poor thing. I said I gotta take care of my baby,
Let's see how long
so
this is
she
gonna
don't.
last.
It may last about a week.
We're gonna go for a ride just for the heck of it tomorrow.
Oh wait. Who's going for a ride for the heck of it tomorrow? Who's driving?
You are.
No, I'm not. How you always be recommending me
You
and
know
and
what?
and
This
and,
the
and
thing. I
putting my
was I
hand
was
up
just
and
telling
thing.
Kaya. I was just telling our youngest daughter
Mm-hmm.
that
Who's
she
about
said,
to celebrate her birthday?
"No, let me."
Happy birthday, Kaya.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kaya Poo. But I was just more saying that she said, "Mom, do you have a license?" I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "So you can drive?" "Yes, I can drive." "Well, prove it." I said, "I don't have to prove anything to you. If I'm telling you I know how to do something,
we
I
have
know
to
how
get
to
a
do it."
we have to get an automatic because you don't know how to drive no manual car.
The point is, if I had a car, I wouldn't ask you to take us for a drive. That's
Well,
the thing. You
if we can
already
make some,
know the
if we can
different
make
things I
some,
got to
if
go
we can
through to
make
even
some,
get a
if we can make
license
some money, then we can get a car.
in here in the UK.
Well,
But anyway,
well,
Peter, I ain't worried
anyway.
about. That's how you are. You know,
Wait,
you
wait,
the
wait.
one driving
That's
right
how I
now.
am. But you can't be just recommending me for
You yelling in my ear, yo.
volunteering me. We'll just go for a drive. Like you didn't even say, hey babe, if you feel up to it, could we go for a drive tomorrow? No, you just talking about something. We just go for a drive tomorrow so I can see.
Well, you know what, Peter? Don't worry about it.
Whatever. Oh, we are going for a drive because we gotta go to the dentist.
Don't even worry about it. I feel like you want me to beg you to take me
Nobody
for a
begging you.
drive
No,
or a ride.
what I'm saying is you can ask me nicer
That
than
won't
that. You
even
can't
happen.
just tell me, oh,
No, I
we'll just
said we
go
would
for a
go for a
drive.
ride for the heck of it. I didn't.
Right.
That wasn't saying it in
So
a boisterous
no,
way.
not in the boisterous, but you could say, hey babe, I would like to go for a ride for the heck of it. How would let's see how you feel tomorrow. No, you just told me we just go for the ride. Like I'm supposed to be like, okay, we'll go for a ride.
Well, don't worry about it. We won't go for the ride.
Good.
We won't. Don't worry about it.
Good.
I'm gonna see who I can call that can give us. Because just one thing I always know: you won't do it, somebody else will. So
That's not no threat to me.
it,
Look, you know what?
I'm just
And
saying, it is
this
what
that's
it
funny that you said
is.
that because now we're gonna go into what we was gonna talk about today, and that's guarding your heart.
Right.
Go ahead and call some.
And
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because I don't think
Go
I was
ahead.
saying it in a harsh way,
Go
but you
ahead.
taking it all personal.
Go
Because you're
ahead.
so sensitive. Stop being
Nobody's
sensitive.
sensitive. I'm just saying. Nobody's sensitive.
Okay, Pedro, would you take us for a drive tomorrow, please, master? Please take us for a drive tomorrow if you feel up to it.
No.
Please, I know it's a part of your job and everything, and you drive all day. So
I do
please take
drive
us.
all day.
Please,
Exactly. So
master.
sometimes I
Please,
don't
master.
feel like
Please,
driving.
master.
I don't feel like
Okay, so
driving.
let me tell you, women, when you move to a new country, make sure you try hard to get your own license. I just got my visa not too long ago. So let me see. I'm gonna see about. I gotta do driver's lessons. I gotta do all of this stuff in the UK. It's not nothing like America, so I gotta go through all of that just to get a car. And my husband give me a hard time just to say you're gonna take me for a drive for the heck of it.
Anyway,
Okay, then.
whatever. See how you try to make it seem like I'm wrong for saying what I said. I'm not wrong.
Mm,
I'm not wrong for that at
I'm
all.
moving on. I said my
Whatever.
piece.
Like I said, so let's get into what we was going to talk about because you just on some other
I
stuff. See
said
that?
my piece.
Yeah. See that's part of that emotion that you get. That's
Mm,
part of your thing right there. So I'm just gonna leave that be because you're gonna be very argumentative, and I'm not going to.
argumentative is not a
Yes,
word.
argumentative. That's right. I made up a word.
Oh my goodness.
Argumentative.
Mm,
Okay then. I say what I said, and I say what I said, as you say.
Good. No, you gonna quote me
That's what you
correctly.
say. I said what I said.
Whatever.
All right then. Shoot, whatever. But like I said, we're gonna get into the topic today. The topic today is going to be
Guarding your heart
all right.
in
So
marriage. Guarding your heart in marriage.
and everything actually, but yeah, mostly in marriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about guarding your heart in marriage, we're talking about guarding your heart against the things that happen to you throughout your marriage, things that will make you want to leave your marriage or dissolve your marriage
Mm-hmm.
or divorce from your marriage.
Not even in your marriage, but just things
And
that may
just
happen
things that may
anyway.
just happen in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we came across this because we
Was looking at
a
a
podcast.
YouTube podcast.
Yeah. And we said, oh, this would be a good we we're not trying to bite off the podcast. We're more talking about ourselves
Mm-hmm.
we just brought up the things we've been through,
Mhm.
and we was like, wow, we never thought of it like that. So
Yeah.
we said we need to do this. So um
Nothing
how do
wrong with
you feel?
feeding
No,
off
no, no.
somebody
How do
else
you
though.
feel? How do you feel about guarding your heart? How would you like to start off in that aspect? I mean, I know guarding your heart to me is making sure that your heart is always focused on God, because the moment you don't focus it on God, you lose a lot of the things. The devil can come in and really um mess with your heart, mess with your mind, mess with your soul.
Mhm.
And that's why a lot of marriages are failing, because people don't put their trust in God or
Right.
guard their heart with God first. They
Right.
try to do it with themselves first, or they do it the grass is green on the other side.
Which we
So
know
we
that's
was
not the
talking about
case.
we was talking about some stuff, and we was talking about the things we went through.
Right.
And you guys know from our previous podcast, if you don't, please go back and look over
Yep.
um
Replays,
replays. We got marriage, communication in marriage,
compromise,
compromise,
loyalty,
random thoughts,
mhm,
abuse,
loyalty,
loyalty,
commitment,
and commitment.
a
Yeah,
whole bunch
so
of
we
stuff.
got a whole bunch of different shows that you can go back and you can listen to our podcast,
Mhm.
like and subscribe.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah, don't forget to do that
yeah, yeah, and share.
and share.
That's right. But I know for us, why does my earpiece keep going?
Mine did that too.
Okay, thought it was just me. But yeah, like I said, we can go into guarding your heart. So for me, guarding my heart was a big thing that helped us to survive the everything that went on in our marriage.
Yeah.
Um, we was talking about this, and I said to you that um, guarding my heart, letting God be first in my heart first,
Right.
was a lot of the reason why I was able to get away from the things, not do things differently with you than
Mhm.
I would have done in the past.
Right.
As you all know, I've been married twice before,
Right.
and in those marriages, I was not always the father or the husband that I should have been. I did
Right.
some things that I shouldn't have done,
Mhm.
and I think I've always said to you that I don't regret being married before, because I think doing those things actually helped me to think better when I got married to you.
Right.
And it made me put up a wall in my heart that was like a guard. Like I had God guarding my heart to make sure that I wouldn't do things.
Mhm.
Because as I said, I was mentioning to you that when we first got together, and then we started going through the abuse, which was my fault,
Mhm.
and then doing the things, some of the other things that we was going through, and you was leaving a lot, going back home.
Mhm.
Um, I never, I got that's when the devil would come in and try to, you know,
Tempt you.
tempt me. Yeah,
Yeah. He will come strong
he
too.
would come over a beautiful woman that all of a sudden want to be my friend.
Mm.
Oh, I just need somebody to talk to. I just
Mm.
need somebody to, to listen to me. I
Yeah.
don't nobody to
Give me
listen
some
to me.
attention.
I need some attention.
Mm.
And because I'm of a sinful nature. At first I'd be like, oh yeah, cool. And it's not even that of a sinful nature, because I'm a type of guy. Believe for me, I get along better with women than I do men. I've always been that way.
Yeah. I'm
You
like
know
that
that.
too though.
You get along with men better than you do women.
Yeah.
So, which is a weird dynamic, but so I've always been able to, you know, talk. Maybe because I was brought up by women.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Maybe so.
Yeah. That
Either
could
way,
have something to do with
I
it.
think it does. But I've always been more comfortable. So so I have to be careful. But I always tell you that.
Well,
What's that phrase I
to
always
be
say?
honest, and let me cut you off before that. I always felt like you was always easy to talk to. Like even now, even though sometimes you
You
irritate
get on
me.
my nerves,
But
like earlier.
I always find it easy for you to talk to because I will say you are a listener.
I'm
You
a
are
great
you're a
listener.
good listener,
Yeah.
and I see why women would probably be like, "Ooh, he's easy to talk to. He's a nice guy or whatever."
I when you talk God in your heart, I have to remember that. So like with my job, I meet a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
I meet a lot of guys. I meet a lot of people.
Right.
And I have to be very mindful of that, because I can get to talking. And I think especially in the UK, they they just go bananas over the accent, which I don't understand. But I just think because the accent is different.
Because it's different, because you
Yeah,
did listening to
because we're more,
British people all day,
because we're
right?
calm, we're calmer.
Right.
I talk in a very monotone
Voice.
voice,
Mm-hmm.
and they just like you said, I'm always fun. Like even our oldest daughter, oh, daddy, you putting me to sleep during worship because you're just talking so calm,
Mm.
and I'm like, whatever, you just want to go to sleep. But
It's the
um,
truth, though.
I think so, but then I think it actually turns them on in a strange way.
Wow.
It turns them on in a strange way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I know that I always talk about you.
Right.
Like I'll quick to say like oh yeah, my wife, she says I'm the most clumsiest person in the world,
Mm-hmm.
clumsiest man she knows, and
Right.
I tend to agree with her or something like that. I'll just start talking about you,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of sometimes diffuses the whole situation,
Right.
or
It,
they,
it diffuses it because it shows that your interest is in your wife and not into them.
yeah,
Right.
like
So
I'm
when
not gonna pay
if
them.
you're in a situation where it's you and a woman in a room, let's say it's for your job, right?
Mhm.
And then if she is somewhat attracted to you for any reason, your accent or just the way you look, period. And in a moment you never mention a woman in your life, she gonna automatically think, oh, he's single or he available.
Or even if I'm married, they'll say, oh,
Because you don't we don't wear rings.
right. But actually think I got hit on more when I wear a ring than I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I used to get hit on all the time when I wear a ring because I think
Mm.
sometimes women think that's a conquest.
I think it's, you know what it is? It's no strings attached. They know that you probably gonna go back home to your wife.
Hmm.
They do what they gonna do, and then, like that.
Yeah, but like I told you before, the devil was mistaken because one thing about me, um, I've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
I've cheated. I've been married and then had a mistress, had other things, unfortunately,
Right.
and I learned that it's not always green on the side. It's not green on the side at all,
Mm.
and it really doesn't end. It doesn't end right. It doesn't end good at all. It just causes more issue in the marriage.
It does.
I think I'm
And it makes you think why God said do not commit adultery.
well, not just
No, I'm just saying it, for me.
well. He said that
And
because it's a sin.
yeah, but what I'm saying, with committing adultery, not guarding your heart, letting yourself loose around other people. Because even for God, even if you think what a man thinketh, so is he. Because even if you think about being with someone, you already committed adultery in your heart right there.
Hmm.
So we really have to be mindful what we do around people, who we're around. Because even though we are married, you can be attracted to other people, but that doesn't mean you have to act on it or even think, oh, maybe, ooh, if you start thinking of
Well,
that
see,
person in a way, no, if you start thinking of that person in a way, then guess what? You already putting
well,
yourself in a
let's
bad position.
instead of using the verse of commit adultery, let's use something like Psalms 1, where it says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor
Mm,
standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
mm-hmm,
But his delight is in the law of God,
mm,
and his law doth he meditate day and night."
mm.
Psalms 1 verses 1 and 2.
And that means study your word, put God's word in your heart so you won't sin against him. So if when that if something like that was to come about, start thinking about what in that case, like I said, we need what would Jesus do
It's not
bracelets.
just not sin against God. It's so that your mind will be set on Him,
Right,
so that you won't sin against your spouse.
right.
Because
And yeah,
we're
and
talking
him
about
too.
guarding your heart. So this is about guarding your heart
Yeah,
because you're guarding your heart by doing this.
right.
So I know I mentioned to you that we, even though we went through everything, our faith was always strong in God. Our faith
Yes.
was always strong in Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you was Baptist and I was Adventist, so even though we went through the things we went through,
Right.
we always had God first
Mm-hmm.
in our marriage.
Right.
Even when we wasn't always practicing, God was still there.
Yes.
We talked about that, and when we did our testimony
Right.
last week,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about how even though we may have lost our way, we knew God was there with us at
Yeah.
all times. At least I know I talked about it. You did too when you did your testimony.
Yeah.
I think that we can protect ourselves if we just don't let the devil uh, give us an idea of something, because he can always make it look good, but it doesn't mean it's good for you
Right. Or it's going to end
or it's
well.
going to end well. Not even that, that is good for you. He
Yeah.
always makes it look like, oh, look, you meet this young fine thing. She's like, yeah, I'm starting to have feelings for you. I'm starting to like you.
Hmm. Oh, I had a dream about you.
Well, that's happened to me too. I had a dream about you. Me and you was doing it and a thing, and I was like, all right, cool. Then let's make that reality.
Yeah.
I've been there too.
Yeah. But
So
would you say if you already thinking about being with someone else or cheating, more than likely it's going to happen if that opportunity comes your way?
I think that if a male, I'm talking about on a male
From a male
perspective, from a
perspective,
male
yeah.
perspective, I believe that if a male is already doesn't value his wife, he's going to cheat on his wife because he's not going to give her the respect that she needs. Like, no matter what we went through,
Mm-hmm.
I never once thought about, like, I'm gonna go cheat on my wife.
Right.
I'm gonna go find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I've been down that road. I knew if I went down that road, it was no turning back. I think I said in my testimony, the one thing I knew is the weirdest thing, and I know this sounds just gonna come off really wrong what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I could be abusive towards you. I knew I could be um bad towards you. I
Right.
knew I could be all the things that I shouldn't be towards you, all
Mm-hmm.
the bad things. But I knew the one thing I could not do to you was cheat on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew the moment I cheated on you, that was a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wrap. It was done. Done and dusted. And done, as they say here in the UK.
Done and dusted.
Done and dusted. Yep.
Mm.
But that still wasn't a reason why I didn't cheat on you. Because I just knew that it was not going to be a good situation if I was. And then I was like, well, God, guard my heart to, even though we're going through these troubles, even though we're going through these issues, Lord, I know that she's the right one for me, because you wouldn't have brought her into my life if you didn't want her to be with me.
Right.
So I think as a male, as I was saying before, as a male perspective, the male knows what he's going to do before he even does it. He's
Mm.
already planning. He already kind of planned things ahead of time. He's like, well, my wife ain't giving me none, so you know what? I'm gonna go and find some.
Mm.
I'm gonna go and say, okay, since my wife ain't giving it to me, I'm gonna go find it from somebody else.
Mm.
Or you could take the path that I take. When we on a dry spell or a dry season,
Right.
I come to him and be
Which
like,
happens in marriages.
and it does, and I come to him and be like, hey, we're on,
What's going on?
what's going on? Are you okay?
I had the discussion with you
Are
too.
we okay?
Because not only do women go through dry spells, men do too.
Yeah, but you thought I was tired. I remember that discussion because we had a heated discussion. We had an argument. Forget that. We had an argument
Yeah.
because you couldn't believe that I was tired.
Yeah, I couldn't because for me, I always thought all men think
Excuse me.
about
I was working
no, no,
three
no.
jobs. I was getting up at like 6 in the morning and coming home at 8 o'clock at night. And when I came home, I was putting the kids to bed and making sure that they got in bed, giving them baths because my beautiful wife didn't want to give them a bath.
I didn't want to get my bath.
No, because you was pregnant at the time and you was going
So
through some
say that.
issues with.
So say that.
I'm about to.
Don't make it seem like I
I
just didn't want to
Excuse
get him
me.
a bath.
No, no, no. I'm about to say why.
Well, you better clean it up.
Whatever. Get off your high horse. Anyway, like I said, so you were spotting and you was going through some issues with Kaya. So you was kind of afraid to be bending over. So I used to have to come home and I was tired. I
Mm,
was straight up tired.
but that's why God made good fathers
Whatever.
and daddies and
And you
husbands.
was like, you must be sleeping with somebody. You must be doing it with somebody.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm? Remember
Yeah,
that? Okay.
I
Okay.
remember the
Yeah, you got kind of
conversation.
quiet. Why you all quiet all of a
I
sudden?
remember it vividly.
Yeah, so I was like, but when I come to you, it's, oh, I'm tired.
Maybe I am tired.
Oh, yeah, but see,
It
wait,
don't
wait,
make
wait, wait,
sense.
wait, 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 wait. That's my point. So when you said I'm tired, I've had a long day, um, whatever reason, what did
Hmm.
I say? All right, cool.
Yeah, but you ain't happy.
I'm not. Why would I be happy?
I didn't think you would, but I'm just saying your
I'm not.
attitude kind of.
No, my attitude was not stank.
Not
Don't
that
say
I didn't say it
no,
was
no, no.
stink. I was just
No.
saying you were just kind of, maybe a bit irritated.
I wasn't irritated. I was a
Not
little bit
irritated in a bad way, but just like, man, okay,
okay. All right, yeah, all right, yeah. I was like, man, but I wasn't irritated. I was just like, man, okay.
yeah,
But we worked it out.
yeah, we did,
Yeah, we
we
worked
did.
it out. Anyway,
But
like I
I
said,
would say go and speak to your husband or your wife and be like, look, what's up? What's going on? Let's talk this out before you even get to the point of thinking about being with someone else.
well, see, the problem is that if you want to be with somebody else, you're gonna be with somebody else.
That's
That's
true.
my
If a
point.
person want to do
If
something,
you're
they're gonna do it.
that's where we get back to our point about guarding
Guarding
your
your
heart.
heart. Hmm.
Because if you don't guard your heart, you're gonna be quick to just be go to go. Like I even said to you before, um, and I said to you before we did this podcast, and we had a discussion. I
Hmm.
said that part of the problem is that when I started to cheat, and even though I was working it out with my ex,
Right.
I would run back because I knew that I could.
Mm.
I knew I could. So I was like, well, it's not working. I run back.
Right. You'll run back to the
And
person
then
you
I
was
will run
your
back,
mistress.
right? And
Mm.
then I'll be like, man, this is not right.
Right.
Then I'll come back and I'll say, same old, same old. I run back. So I was going back and forth like a yo-yo.
Mm.
And that's why I'm like, you know. But then, guarding your heart also goes to guarding your heart by the friends that you keep.
That's true. I
Because
admit
that is
to that.
that's the biggest holdup.
Yeah.
I know
The
for a
friends
fact
you
for
keep.
me, I know for you too, but I know for me specifically,
Mm.
I don't have many friends.
Right.
I can count on one hand,
Well, my circle
literally
is
one hand.
small as well.
Yeah, I've actually tried to reach out, but for some reason I don't always connect,
Mm.
and I don't know if it's me or if it's them. I
It
think it's
could.
probably.
It
I
could
think.
be.
I think it's
People
me.
change.
No, I think it's me. I think it's me. I just think I've always been a loner,
Yeah.
and
You're an introvert for sure.
yeah, and I always been a loner, and I always just would be happy just to talk to you
Right.
and the children.
Mhm.
So for me, I'm like, I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm good. I don't need, but it's good to be able to bounce things off sometimes,
Yeah.
other men to get other opinion.
Yeah.
But I just don't connect
Yeah.
like I want to. I do try. I just have not been successful yet.
But you
And
know what? I try to have female friends, but I find sometimes talking to some women here in the UK, not everybody on the same page as you. I may know maybe like maybe one or two people that may be married, but most people that I run into are single. So I really try not to um talk about anything that I may be going through in my marriage with a single person because they only gonna think one sided. They're not gonna think in a mutual way um as if they was married. Did that make sense?
it depends because if the person was in a long relationship before, or has been through some life experiences, even though they may be single,
Mm-hmm.
that don't mean that they can't still give you knowledge,
Yeah, depending on what
depending
it.
on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, though. I
Mm-hmm.
think more than anything, we try to have friends that will be like mind like us,
Right.
like in the fact of not even have to be Adventist, but just love the Lord.
Yeah.
Because if we have friends that don't love the Lord, we're not we're not gonna really be close like that because we could be acquaintances, but we're not gonna be close friends because we're not going to see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And I know I you see it with me all the time, but like, yeah, I don't think I can hang. I don't think I can roll with that
Yeah.
because I don't like the way
I remember when
I don't like
we
the way
was
they
going.
responded.
I remember when we was going through our stuff when I was in the States, and I had a single friend. She was having issues and stuff. She had got a divorce, and she knew we was having some issues, but I didn't tell her the whole gist of it. But when things was going bad, she was just like, "Girl, leave him. You should divorce him. That's what I did." It was like it was no type of encouragement to work things out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but she's
saying?
had multiple marriages.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it just would have been nice to you have someone that was didn't look at it in a way of just leave. You could. That's why I knew then, just like God was saying, you need to cut her off, and I did. I cut her off. We wasn't friends no more after that. We, friends on Facebook, but we no longer
Talking like you used to
talking
talk.
like
Yeah,
we
I
used
know
to
what you
talk
mean.
because I just feel like, man, like if you got someone suggesting that you leave your mate because things not working on their end, it just some people misery love company, and I really saw the whole definition of that in that situation.
Yeah, I understand that. I I've never had no friends to tell me to leave, but I've
Hmm.
had friends that doesn't always see the big picture.
Yeah.
I want friends that are gonna tell me when I'm doing something wrong, like I would tell them,
Right.
or give them advice on how they can do better
Hmm.
in their marriage or
Right.
in their relationship.
Hmm.
And I've had a couple of friends that, well, actually, most of my friends have been that way
Right.
because I really do keep them close to the vest.
Hmm.
Like, I really do try to guard my heart. I think, like I said, I just guarded my heart was something that God has blessed me with because of the experiences that I've been through in the past.
Hmm.
So when I met you, I was definitely able to, because I was honest with you. I said that if I didn't have those experiences, I would have definitely cheated.
Yeah.
I would have been out.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, peace,
Yeah.
peace out, you know.
Yeah.
And I had plenty of
But you know what?
opportunity.
I would say because I don't know. I said maybe I'm not right about honest only thing, but one thing I did hear in the podcast is that when a man is not taught how to be one, not taught how to be a man, not taught how to to be a husband to his wife, then I can see you thinking that way. You get what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes. I can see that. In some
Well, then in that
cases,
case, what
only
that
because
well, I wasn't taught to be a man right away.
I know, but what I'm saying is you had to go through different experiences for you to get to where you are now.
That's true.
So imagine if you was taught that early on, maybe you wouldn't make those same decisions that you made before.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
it does play a part in it.
true.
Me being able to see my parents together, working things out. If they did step out on each other, I didn't see it, but I'm sure things would have something would have happened that we would have known something went down.
Hmm.
But I saw them stick it out, and I guess that's for me. I'm like, it don't make sense for me to, because like I told you, I never thought about being with another man ever until one day,
Mm.
and I was like, whoa, they
And
really
that's
took
actually
me.
when we was actually going through
We
our
was
issues,
going
but
through
we was
our
actually no, but we was actually on good terms. We was actually working it out
well, for you, it was on good terms.
because you was still broken,
Yeah, I was still broken on
but you
these.
wasn't honest with me.
Yeah, but I was trying. Well, I didn't. I was trying to learn how to. I was dealing with it.
Mm.
So when you're going through different traumas and things in your marriage, you just trying to learn how to get through it and pray. And when you're going through stuff and you're looking for change to happen, it don't happen overnight. It take time. It take prayer. It take dedication, commitment, and everything. And you just and for me, I almost lost it.
Some things can happen overnight,
It can, but I'm just
but I
saying,
think that when it happens overnight, when it happens quickly, the devil is more apt to be more
right.
stronger and trying to break your spirit.
And the thing is, when I saw myself going to a place, God was showing me stuff. Like when you close to God and praying, God will start intervening in your heart, in your mind, and your conscience, and He'd be like, "Look, now and that was what was happening with me. It's just like God was like, "Sorry, this ain't the road you need to go down," and I kept feeling guilty. It kept hanging over me like a dark cloud.
Hmm.
It was the most awful feeling. You come in the house and I'm like, it was just like I was just so
Yeah, because this was
uncomfortable.
going on for months.
It was going on for months, yes. And
Hmm. And the funny, you would talk to me just as much you was talking to them,
yeah, so it wasn't really like a difference. So what I'm saying is that
and I
people,
couldn't even tell. That's the funny thing. I couldn't even tell.
because you probably wasn't expecting me to be that type of person, so they didn't go across your mind.
That's true. I didn't expect it at
You get
all.
what I'm saying? You don't.
I was oblivious to the whole situation.
Right. So, be watchful. The Bible said be watchful. But
Hmm.
but yeah, so anyway, when it started getting too much, even for me, I confess. And I promise you, it took every part of me felt like my guts is gonna fall on the ground. And I approached my husband and I said, Peter, I got something to tell you. And I remember he was sitting on the counter. You sat on the counter, you came home from work. And I was like, Peter, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. and you looked, and you didn't respond like I thought you was gonna respond. I don't know what I was looking for, but you didn't do nothing what I thought. I was kind of shocked. I was like, "Is this a dream?
Yeah, I told you why I didn't
Is
respond
I
because I told you that in my mind, I was not shocked. I was hurt and disappointed, but
right?
I was not shocked because I knew that with everything that had gone on in our marriage,
Hmm.
it didn't shock me that you was actually thinking of going to something else.
And to be honest with you, it ain't that I was thinking it. It started off with, and this what can
That,
happen,
well,
ladies.
let me rephrase. I'm right,
Let me happen.
right.
Let me tell you what can happen sometimes, ladies, and men, is that it can start off with an innocent conversation. And the thing is, the person that the person was married as well or going through some type of separation, divorce. Anywho, I guess that wasn't even as good as well. But anyway, you start having conversations, friends, and it just can just be like that. And you just talking, and they just listening to you. So they listen to what you saying, you listen to what they saying. They saying things that's going wrong with them, and you saying things that's going wrong with you, and everything seemed like, oh, if everything going bad on both ends, we might as well connect. Maybe it could be something good with us. At the same time, it won't be.
Hmm. And that's what I was talking about. That's yeah. I mean, it was times when we broke when you left, and I would be in a situation where I had the opportunity, and I just was like, no, I'm not going to because I already knew where it was going,
Right.
and I knew that the intention was not going to be right,
Hmm.
nor would it be good for our marriage. I was just like, nope, not going to.
Right. And having the conversations and talking on the phone and all of those things was like, oh, I got someone listening to me. I got someone that understands me. I got someone that can possibly be somebody for me.
No, actually, that because when you told me, the only thing I did say to you was like, I thought we was working it out. I remember saying that to you. I thought we was good. I know we've had our issues, but I thought we was working it out. And he
Mm.
was like, I'm still not there. I'm like, well, heck, why are you acting like you're there if you're not there?
Because at that moment, I ain't gonna even lie. I was trying to figure out what was what was happening.
Mm,
I had a moment of confusion, and I know God is not a God of confusion. And I was just asking the Lord to fix it, Lord Jesus, because I did not. At the end of the day, I knew it was not going to be beneficial for me,
hmm.
for our marriage.
Right.
Me going down that road we wouldn't be here today.
Well, like I said, I know if I did, we want to be together.
Yeah,
And I knew that's what the devil was trying to do. So I was just like,
find
I'm
ways
not
to break up
trying to find
marriage.
ways to break us up. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm not, even though everything was going wrong and everything was just all topsy turvy and
Mm-hmm.
upside down. I just kept on like, okay,
Right.
let's see what
And the
happens.
best thing not to do is don't be alone with the person. Don't catch yourself in a situation where it's just you and them. You know what I'm saying? So much can
I just
materialize.
said, don't put yourself in a situation
Situation.
that you can't handle.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you a little while I was put in that situation, and I had the person in the car, and it was just me and her, and I could you could just feel the tension, and I was
Mm.
like, well, maybe you should go see your husband and your kids. They're probably waiting for you. They're probably up waiting for you.
Mm.
So I had dropped her home, and because I was out, and I said, no, I'm not. I'm not even going to.
You know what it is sometimes when things
Even
are not going right, you just
mhm.
need that one door open, and you
Yeah, because
just
the
need
flesh
to.
is weak, man.
The
Because
flush is weak. Yeah.
she was a fine girl. I ain't gonna lie, she was fine, and I
Mm.
was like, all I gotta do is climb in the back seat, and I'm good to go. But then I'm
Mm.
like, what about my wife? Well, how's my wife gonna react to this? How's my
Mm.
wife gonna take this?
Mm.
How would I
That's
feel?
that's how I felt.
How would I feel if I was to do
Mm-hmm.
this? I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I think
Mm-hmm.
was Junior. Yeah, Junior was born by then. Yes, I was like, I have a child, and
Sometimes having children don't stop people to do what they
well,
doing.
it's not. Well,
No,
I'm
I'm
not
just
saying.
saying. I'm just
It's
saying.
not that Junior stopped me
No, no,
from
no.
doing it,
That's
but it
not what
was
I'm
just more
saying. I mean,
like
if you wanted to do it, you would have did it. Whether the kids was there, I was just but more saying, just letting people know. Just because you have kids doesn't mean it's gonna stop you from doing certain things. some
Right.
people still gonna do what they gonna do.
Oh, I mean, having children don't stop you from doing anything. You can
Yeah,
still be a bad husband or a bad wife,
right.
even with children. So children don't stop you from doing anything.
Yeah, I say just make things more harder.
No, I don't know if it makes it hard. I just think sometimes they don't really think of the kids. They're thinking of themselves. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about. Men are going to do what they want to do. Um, I know another thing that can hurt you is social media, which is
Mm,
why even though we do this podcast, and Tyler tell you, I don't get on Facebook like
yeah.
that. I don't get on Instagram. I don't get on Twitter. I mean, I have platforms,
Right.
but I need to get better at it for the podcast and for ministry.
But just to be
But
strolling on there looking.
but just to be strolling on there looking. Matter of fact, it just the other day I was strolling through something
Mm,
and some girl was upside down twerking,
mm.
but I only went back because I didn't. I
I was
was
sitting on the
strolling.
couch and I was like,
Right.
Peter, what you
I
doing?
know, but I was strolling, and I said, "Was she just?" Well, I think she was. I went back to see, and he was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Well, I ain't doing nothing." I went back and started strolling away. I was like, "I'm not doing anything." But I
She's
really,
shaking her candy apples.
I don't know what I don't know what she was. I was trying to figure out because you sometimes stroll right, and you
Right.
and you see the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, what the heck was that? Like,
What was
really?
that?
Yeah, I still don't. All I know is she was twerking,
Right.
and she had her legs spread,
Mm-hmm.
and like because she was doing a split
Mm-hmm.
upside down,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only reason why it caught my attention.
And
But that's what I mean
that
by guard your
guard
mind,
your mind,
because
yeah.
that right there was that's what I'm saying. So then like what? Well, I start looking at like, ooh,
You know that like that who knew that was.
no, I don't know.
I'm saying, do you know who that was?
No.
That video of that person was like a senator or she some type of elective person in America where
Oh,
she's trying to run for office. So she did that, and she of the same sex. She liked the same sex, so she did it for that group of
uh-huh.
LGBTQ to get
So
more
you knew
votes.
so why was you getting mad at me if you already knew what it was? I
I didn't know.
asked you what it
I really
was.
didn't know until later. I promise you on
Oh,
everything.
you probably went
I
back to
didn't.
you probably went on my phone and looked it up.
No. I was no. I was. I don't go on your phone. Number one, I don't go
Whatever.
on your phone. I really don't.
Ah,
So, Peter, don't have these people thinking that. Stop
nah,
lying. But
I don't care if you
anyway,
go on my phone
but
anyway.
anyway, like I
I don't
said,
care if you went on my
I was
phone.
listening to a podcast,
Mhm.
and they was explaining who she was, and I was
Oh,
like,
so that's why I
right.
was confused because
She was doing it for votes for the LGBTQ.
okay, that see, I didn't even because I
And for
didn't
young people, because she
and see
figured to
that
bring.
just
She was
shows.
saying to bring young people in to vote who are 18 to whatever to get them to start
But
voting.
that just shows like even after I left by you, I still didn't go back
You
and
still
look
didn't
for
go
it.
back, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
look
didn't
for
go
it.
and look for the video. Somebody was talking about it. I listened. They were saying who she was, and I was like, "Oh, that's what that was about." Because I saw the video just like you did, but I didn't know what that whole thing
Oh,
was.
okay. Because like I said, I was just more like, why is
And
she
she's
twerking
a
upside
black
down?
woman
Yeah, I know
in
she. Obviously,
office.
she
Yeah,
black.
the first black woman in I can't remember it was, but wherever she's from, she'll be the first black woman running for
Okay,
office.
that makes sense. Okay, no problem. All
And
right.
a lot
Well,
of people felt like she was,
eh. But that's
not a
why
good example.
I just don't deal with social media because social media can definitely, especially for men,
Hmm.
it can give men.
And women too.
The it's funny like when with my job,
Hmm.
I tell people all the time one thing I learned about white people, white women in the UK or even
Hmm.
in the US, which I didn't never realize,
What's
and I
that?
know it's gonna sound weird,
Hmm.
that their hair gets just as kinky and matted and hard to comb through that a black woman hair does. I
Mm.
always because growing up in the States or in Bermuda, you turn on the TV and a white woman, she gets, up and she flings her hair and it's all nice and they wake up in the morning, it's all in place. You get that perception. As a man, visually, I was like, oh, white woman's hair is always on point. Boom.
Right.
If you really look at it, if you really think about it, when you watch TV shows,
Hmm.
the white woman's hair is nice and neat.
Yeah, they didn't
But
got all the
sometimes, but
tangles
the
out.
black woman, she always wakes up in the morning, she's got a scarf on or she's got something on, and then she has to do her hair.
Right.
So mentally, I was always thinking this. I'll say to people now when I go and because for my job I cut hair for a living. Well, I don't cut hair. I take strands of hair
DNAs and stuff
for no, it's not for DNA, for drug testing.
for drug testing.
Right.
Okay.
So I take strands of hair for drug testing.
Right.
So I'm trying to make a line, and I mean, it's like the scissors just getting stuck because it's like I'm not going through that. I'm like, do you have a comb? Do you have a brush? Can you brush it out? And I never realized that until I started doing this job, how much, and then I said, wow, that's amazing, because all these years I thought women's hair, white women's hair, just boom,
Mm.
but it's not.
Goes to show you.
Goes to show, exactly. So as that's what I'm saying, my point is about is social media. Social media puts that perception out there. They put that narrative out there
Mm-hmm.
where you don't, like, they definitely put that narrative out there about being skinny.
Yeah.
They put that narrative, oh, that you're supposed to look this way and not that way.
Right. Like you don't
you
supposed to
know
change over time.
and I think the worst thing that was ever invented was, what do you call them, tights,
Tights.
or gym
Legging.
pant
Leggings.
leggings. Yeah, I think that's the worst thing that was ever invented, because it just, sometimes it as a male, it's hard sometimes, because it doesn't, what's the word, it doesn't, your mind, it does not give you more. I can't think of what I'm trying to think of, but I know it's so visual
Mm.
that you don't even have, why even wear the clothes, you can almost visualize them naked,
Mm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
and I have to, like, guard my heart, like, okay, Lord, meditate, all right, Lord, I'm gonna look,
You gonna look?
no, I'm gonna look the other way, I'm
Oh, you
gonna
gonna
look
look the other
straight,
way. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I was just
yeah,
trying to
I'm
make
gonna
sure.
look I'm gonna look straight, I'm gonna look the other way, because I'm like, Lord.
That's just like saying men that have on the gray jogging pants during the winter. Please don't look that way because they show
Yeah,
everything.
that's the same with men wearing the tights and stuff. Same
Mm.
thing. What you think?
Yeah.
What you think? It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, got
Start
all the muscles.
visualizing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying about it. We have to guard our heart, because if we don't guard our heart, the devil's gonna get you.
Yeah.
You
If you
gotta,
let them.
if you let him, you gotta realize that God put us here for a reason,
Yeah.
and there are beautiful women out there. There's beautiful men out there. There's other people that will always look better than you. Thinking about that, when we look on social media, not just what they wear, but like what they're doing.
Well, you look and be like, oh, they taking, oh, he taking her out. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they got all of these flowers. They going on trips. They going on
Mm-hmm.
vacations.
Right.
And what do I say to you sometimes? You don't want to go on a vacation. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do this. You don't want to do that. Why you don't, and then you looking at what everybody else doing. You know what I'm saying? Not being like, you don't value me, type of thing. Because you're looking at what people doing.
Right. But the thing about it is, for me, we're gonna go when it's time. Part of our reason we don't go nowhere is because you don't trust nobody with the children.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of,
But you do
for the
show,
past
but you
years, we
do
have not.
show other things in other ways. You know what
No,
I'm
I'm about
saying?
to get to that, because I made sure I was gonna bring
Mm,
that point.
right.
So I know that you, with guarding your heart, you was also talking about affection, and I learned that, I've been telling you this for years, that I may not be the most affectionate person,
Mm-hmm.
but it goes to with guarding your heart. So, like, when you're guarding your heart, and your man is not doing the things that you think he should be doing, but what is he is? Will you look at what he is doing?
Right.
Is he taking care of you? Is he taking care of your children?
Mm-hmm.
Is he taking care of the house? Is he paying the bills? Is he doing everything he possibly can do to make sure that the family is running safe and sound, and that you guys are good?
Right.
Well, if he's doing that, maybe that's his way. That's how I am. I've always been that way. I've always felt I've got more, I've got turned on more by buying you something that I know you love and giving it to you and seeing your response, than being affectionate. And I know that sounds weird. Then, and you know this to be true.
Yeah,
Then then
I do.
then
You made me look at
then
you like, oh.
then being affectionate towards you. It is not that I'm not being. I get affectionate. I get affectionate when I want some. Then I become affectionate. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. We know this already. I
Yeah.
do. I become affectionate when I want some. I become the sweetest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I admit that. But that's just how some men are wired. That's how I'm wired. I wired, but My other way of showing affection towards you, or not a sexual way, is by just taking care of you. I
Right.
rub your feet every now and then. I rub your neck and back every now and then. I should probably do it more. I
Mm-hmm.
don't do it as much as you probably like, but I do it.
Yeah.
But my main thing is, to me, is like me taking care of you, me going out there and doing 3 jobs and not complaining and just coming home and then still dealing with the family. That's my way of showing affection towards you.
Right.
When you have a man like that, or you have a woman that will go out of her way to make sure, that will actually argue with me. My wife will argue with me when I get home some days. Like yesterday, I got home, she was on the phone talking to a friend, and I was hungry. Now I could have been like, "Woman, make me some food."
Get
I
up.
was
Get
like,
up. Get up right now.
I was
Make me
like,
some food.
I can go make my own food. So I went and made my own food. This woman over here is arguing with me. Why didn't you tell me that you was hungry? Because I'm a grown man. I know how to make some food. Like, you understand? That's the way she shows affection. She shows
Yeah.
affection that way by making sure.
I like to make your food and make it with love.
Whatever.
And
I
and
think you be putting stuff in my food, to
I
be
don't be putting
honest.
nothing in your food but some
Mm-hmm.
seasonings.
You be
Whatever. Don't play with me.
there's a I've been watching The Flash, and there's an episode in The Flash that's called The Thinker. The guy, one, it was a metahuman, and the guy, his tears, the tears made people love you more. I think you be doing. I think that's why you're trying to make my food, because I think you be putting something in the food to make me love you more.
No,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that's not it.
Yes, I think
That
so.
is not
That's why I
it,
make my own
sir.
food sometimes, so I could, I
Whatever.
could get a break from whatever you're putting in my food.
Oh, I can't believe you said that. Take it all back right now.
But nah, no, I'm saying I just made it when they made me some food. He
But
was
yeah,
like,
it's
he didn't say
different
you was
ways
hungry.
it's different ways you can show your significant other, your husband or wife, how you feel. It ain't always got to be a trip or roses on the bed or something like that. It could just be the little simple things, you know, that
Yeah,
goes a long way.
give him a kiss, give him a hug,
Mhm.
tell him you love him,
Mhm.
call him and say, hey, how you doing? I was just checking on you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do those things.
you do.
Yeah,
You do. I mean,
I
like, what
always
you
make
want?
sure.
What you
I
want?
always check on. I always check on you, make sure you're okay. How you doing today? How's your day going so far?
Yeah.
That's my way of showing affection.
Yeah.
That's
And I
how
like
I,
that.
that's how I guard my heart, because I always, when I talk to people, I always talk about you to
Yeah.
a fault. I don't even talk about myself. I talk about you or the kids.
Yeah. I'm like
I
that
don't talk
too.
about myself at all. Only time I talk about myself, if I'm just trying to give them some understanding, because like in my job, a lot of times they're depressed, or they're not feeling well, or
Mhm.
they're really scared, or they're not, thing. And I tell them about me, like, look, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to do a job, and I'm
Right.
just here to help you get to where the point where you need to get to.
Mhm.
I've been down that road. I've done drugs. I've sold drugs. I've done these things. I tell them I've abused my wife. I tell them,
Right.
you know, and they're like, "What?" And you work? And I say, "Yeah." And that's my point. Like, just because you're down at this moment, that
God can
does
change your
not mean
life.
that God can't change your life and make
Mhm.
you a better person.
Yeah, he can. God can
God can change you.
overstand, understand, and completely understand you. You get me?
What did you say? Overstand, understand, and what?
Overstand, understand.
That's I've never heard that before.
God can overstand, understand, something stand you.
Oh
You
my
know,
goodness.
that's what I was saying. But what I'm saying is
Pretty much, he knows
it
he's
ain't
all knowing,
nothing.
and nothing God
It's
can't do.
nothing too big for God.
There you go. That's
No
the better
matter
way. Just
how dark your world may
mhm.
be at this moment, if you listening to this, even in the replay, no matter how dark your life is or things like going right in your marriage, everything just looking like it's about to fall down, get on your knees, pray with your husband, pray with your wife,
Pray by yourself.
pray by yourself. And, when you're laying in the bed with each other, just lay hands on your husband and wife and just pray for God to change the hearts of you first and your spouse and,
So
and
I actually
let
have a
God
question.
manifest.
Did you actually do that? Because you said that in your
I
testimony.
did. I
So
promise
I
you.
was sleeping. You did that?
So I did. I promise you I did.
Oh,
Because,
I
I
didn't know
used to
that.
always be up at night while you was sleeping.
Hmm.
So I'm up checking on the
Especially after,
kids.
especially after arguments.
Yeah. And so I used to be up praying and,
Oh, you
and,
never. I didn't know until you said the testimony the other day. I never knew that.
hmm
I never knew that.
I
That's a God
used to
honest
be up
truth.
and I'd come in the bed, I'd lay down and God would give me a peace. And I'd see about the kids, come in the room, pray over you, just lay hands on you, and then I go to sleep.
Oh, and on that subject too, talking about guarding your heart. Another way to guard your heart is this: even when you have arguments, even when you have disagreements with your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
never go to, even if you go, I don't believe in that phrase, don't go to bed angry, because you're going to go to bed angry sometimes. That's just because they say if you don't wake up the next morning, you'll regret it. I mean, yeah, that's possible. That is true.
I would say don't,
But
because what's the
no,
point?
but you can sometimes you're going to go to bed angry. But I would say more than anything, no matter how angry you got, no matter how angry we ever got with each other, we always slept in the same bed.
Yeah,
There's only one time that we didn't sleep in the same bed, and that's when I had the accident.
yeah, that was
And
the
that
only
was three
time.
months, and that's because I couldn't lay down.
Well, unless you fall asleep on the couch every now and then. I'm like, Peter, what time you came to bed?
I That's different.
I
That's
know.
me. That's me like eating and then sitting up because I get home late. I have a little snack and then I don't want to go to lay
You
down.
lay down right
And
away.
then next thing you know, I'm sleeping on the couch because that couch upstairs sucks you in.
It does. It suck you in.
It sucks you in like a big old fish. I feel like Jonah sometimes. Like I'm just,
Mm.
and I'm just like, and then I'm like, ooh, it's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, and actually sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning. And be honest, I'm too tired to even move. Man, listen, I just get up at 5 and I'll see my wife later.
Wow.
I'm being honest. I'm saying sometimes, that don't mean that I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you.
No,
Just,
it's fine. Cause
but you told me
some
anyway. You
nights,
said, you know what? I love it because I have the whole bed to
I
myself,
had a whole bed to myself, and then when you get in
and
the
that
bed,
is
you pull
true.
in the cover and everything.
No, because you have all the cover. Because you be all over the bed. I'd be like, you want to move?
You be
It's
messing up my comfy
no, no, no.
spot.
Your comfort spot is my side. That's the problem. I come to bed and you on my side. Your side is nice and cool. My side is hot because you've been laying on my side. Why don't you just sleep on
Well,
my side and I sleep on your side? Next, that's what I'm gonna do one night. When you laying on my side, I'm gonna come lay on your side because at least on your side is cool.
mm,
That's just what I'm gonna do. My pillows and everything.
mm,
You be on my pillows. You be on every. I'm like, could you like, why?
yeah,
Anyway, so like I said, guarding your heart, guys. We just wanted to say, guard your heart by just always trusting in God, having God first in everything that you do,
mm-hmm,
because that's how you can get through a lot of things. Guarding your heart will allow you not to run when things go bad in your marriage.
yeah,
Guarding your heart will be to understand that you're going to go through rough times, you're going to go through rough patches, but that don't mean that you got to give up
yeah,
and move on,
mm-hmm,
because moving on does not mean it's better. It's not better at all. Actually, it's not green on the other side.
yeah,
You're with your spouse for a reason.
yeah.
You're with, and like I always say,
And just remember, who
I'm
you
not
with is
saying
not perfect.
that's right. And I'm not saying to stay with somebody if it's a dangerous situation.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Dangerous situations, you need to get yourself out.
yeah,
You need to get yourself out of that situation.
yeah,
But I'm talking about just arguments and disagreements. We're not the same people. We have a sinful nature. We're not the same people. We're all different. We're
mm-hmm.
not going to always go. My wife and I, we just had a disagreement before we came on the podcast, like we
About
have
something so
about
simple.
simple things, yeah. Because I'm telling her to do one thing, she want to do what she want to do. I'm like, well, why don't you just do? Why you ask me anyway?
But you know what?
So
It calmed me when I finally started doing it, didn't it? You was like, just do what you're gonna do anyway.
exactly, I said, just do what you're gonna do, and then by the time you're done, you'll be calm enough to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Are you calm?
Yes.
No, whatever.
I can think things through.
And then we're gonna go into another thing real quick on that subject. Actually, no, we're gonna finish up with this subject part of guarding your heart. Just trust in God, like I said, in everything that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and just guard your heart. Don't let the devil trick you into thinking that there's something better out there.
And be careful who you're around. Be careful who give you advice.
Right.
When if you talking to people, they ain't never talking about their husband or their wife, then
Yeah,
something
those are not people that you want to be with,
you need to
because
remove
they're
yourself.
always talking bad about their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do I talk bad about you?
No, do you?
No.
Oh,
I make jokes about you.
okay.
Sometimes you don't like them, but I remember that. You remember when I used to make jokes about you all the
And I
time,
didn't like it
and you didn't like it, so you came and talked to me.
because it was because at that time we was going through stuff, and I used to think you used to do it to be,
Funny.
I don't
I
know,
probably was doing it
spiteful
to.
or
Yeah, I probably
something.
was. I probably was
You
doing
was
it to be
doing stuff to be
spiteful. Yeah,
spiteful and stuff,
yeah.
and don't do that in your marriage.
Well, I'll
Don't,
say more than anything,
you know,
communicate. If you have an issue, sit down like grown adults and talk about the issue,
right? Don't start making little jokes
and
and
come to a agreement with each other,
yeah.
and respect each other's space, and also respect each other um
And
ideas.
I would say what we had to learn too. Like if we talking about something and You and you may not agree. Don't say it while you're in front of people. You wait. You go along with it. And then when y'all leave wherever you're from, then
I
you
do it all the
confront
time.
your spouse. Be like, I can't believe you said that, or I can't, like that wasn't true, or something like that. But I feel that correcting your spouse in front of people can cause a real issue. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
think.
because it's like I don't have your back.
Like you undermining them,
Hmm.
and
Right.
you always be on the point is be team together because marriage is one.
Yeah.
You don't never want to feel separated when you in front of people and talking,
No,
because you could actually feel alone. Even you can have moments in your marriage where you could, even though you're married, you feel like you're all by yourself,
that's true.
and that can happen.
That's
And
true.
when that happens, you really need to sit down. Counseling is good. It's
Yes.
nothing wrong with counseling. It's nothing wrong with or it's just talking to someone that can be mutual, the mediator that can speak on both ends.
Or if you have a really good friend
Yeah,
that
somebody you can
can
trust.
that's like minded like you, that's gonna tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get no yes man or
Yeah,
yes woman.
yeah,
Those are not good. Those are not
yeah,
good at
girl,
all.
go ahead. Yeah, yeah, man,
Yeah,
go.
because they be quick. Because their life is in shambles and they trying to live their life through yours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we didn't get to what we was going to talk about.
What's that?
Other thing we was going to talk about
Say it.
planned relations.
Oh, right.
Mm,
Schedule.
a scheduled relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with us scheduling intimacy moments is, I think it wasn't done intentionally. It just
It
kind
was
of
done
happened that way.
intentionally.
It kind of happened that way, though,
No,
didn't it?
you told me straight up. I'd rather do it in the morning than at night. I'm blowing you up out on this podcast. Yes, you did say that. You said I'd
Oh,
rather do
Lord.
it at night than in the morning because that way I wake up and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what if I don't want it in the morning? What if I want it at night?
So you never told me what you wanted. I was being Pacific. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, but see, as
one thing you
a
have to,
man
you
always
just
wants it.
what you said, communicate. Communication is the key. So
I told
I
you
was just letting
fine.
you know.
I told you fine. I get it when I can get it.
Now
But
sometimes at night it just depends. But at nighttime I'm sleepy. You already know that. I'm out for the count. But
that's okay. I'll
but
wake
in
you
the
up.
morning, I'm
I'll
all
wake you up.
in the morning I'm all good.
Nah.
In the
See, I
morning,
wake you up. That's all.
you wake me up and I be cranking because I've been up all night, and
And that's
then
not
I
my
have to
problem.
then I can
A
only do
man want a
naps.
man wants what he wants. What the heck?
But
Sure.
do you think having scheduled intimacy
Yeah, that's
is,
crazy.
you think it's crazy?
Yes, I think it's
No,
crazy.
I think it's finding a way to
No, how is
still
it? How is it finding a
connect.
way? How is it finding a way to connect? All right, so let's see.
I'm just
Today
saying,
is
no,
the
no, no, no. Listen though, listen
what's
to this
today? What's today?
seriously.
Today is the 14th. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock,
I didn't
8:05.
put the time. I didn't put the. I'm just saying for some people, depending on their schedules, depending on if you got one, two parents working or something, or whatever the situation may be, it could just be that you just end up that way. You know, that don't mean that it take the joy out of
It
it.
does take the joy out of it. It takes the. I like the spontaneity. I don't like the
I mean,
scheduling.
it's okay to be spontaneous every now and then.
No, it's good to be spontaneous all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. What are you talking about? Every now and then, all the time. You don't want to have a set time. All right, let me make a schedule. So the 25th is good for you. How about the 26th?
Okay, I'm gonna go
Okay,
lay
we're gonna
down.
squid.
You come on, let's get this over with, type of thing. Come on now, we on the
Yeah,
time
but
schedule.
you know what? And you know how I am. I'll be like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I know you don't, but you want to
I
be.
say I wanted. I would be like, I'm not doing it because
No, you want it
if
to
if
happen
I know, no,
naturally.
you're right, exactly. If I don't think you're going to enjoy it, I'm not going to do it.
Well, yeah,
That's
obviously,
just me.
yeah.
That's just me. I'm not one of those type of guys that's like, I'm gonna get mine. I don't care about you.
Some men like that. Some women
Well,
like
I'm
that
not.
too.
Well, I'm saying, but I'm not that type of man. I want us to both enjoy it. So if we're both not going to enjoy it, I'm not doing it. And
Especially,
and
yeah.
I pissed you off like that sometimes because you're just like, just come on. I'm like, nope. And you're like, really? I'm like, no. It's happened
Yeah, it has happened.
plenty of times
Mm-hmm.
because you're just like, I'm tired, but no, if you're tired, then you're tired.
Well,
So in a
how? Okay,
marriage
how about this? On a man perspective, how often you think it should happen that intimacy is in marriage?
for a relationship,
No, intimacy.
an intimate relationship, in a
Pedro,
week,
intimacy. Pedro, not intimate relationships. It's
coitus.
intimate. Pedro, how you get on my nerves. You know what I'm saying.
I'm messing with
You
you. All
doing
right,
too
so
much.
let's see. What in a week? in order a month? I
On a
think
on a
for
weekly basis,
on a weekly
Pedro. My
basis, I
goodness,
would
it's just like
say
talking to Kaya right now.
I would say at least I would say at my age, I would say like 2 to 3 times a week.
Two, two, three,
Yeah.
two, 3 times. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
See, I'm happy if I get it once a week. I'll be lucky
No, serious.
sometimes. When we go to the dry spells, it'd be like 2 weeks. I'm like, damn. Excuse me, darn.
But you know,
Sure. What the heck?
but you know what? I'm just like,
Okay, on you then in the week. How often do you think?
okay. I would say 2 to 3 is not bad. 2 to 3,
Hmm.
two to
You just
three.
said that's a lot. So
I
what?
know I said, but I
So
said
one to
2 to 3
two.
not bad. But I said if I had to choose, maybe twice throughout the week.
Hmm.
You know, and then maybe on a weekday, on a weekend, maybe
I'm
pop
talking about
one
the whole
in.
week. So that's 2 to 3 times a week.
Right? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But my,
Like,
I'm saying,
since you're
I'm literally.
scheduling like a Monday, a Wednesday, take a break on Thursday, Friday, and then and actually, funny thing, somebody put on Facebook that they should put fundamentals 29th fundamental belief 29
Hmm.
that they should put having relationships, a married couple having a relationship on Sabbath.
Oh, I don't see nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
see
that.
nothing wrong with that either. That's what I'm
Sabbath,
saying. So
Sabbaths are the best
let's
because you
let's
home
let's
just
schedule Wednesday,
relaxing.
Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday morning
Okay, Sabbath.
to bring in the Sabbath.
Come.
Before we go to church, we be nice and happy and glowing.
Yeah, you'll get along really, really
Yeah, we get
good.
along real well then,
Oh,
won't
you
we?
know what? I'm
Mm-hmm.
done.
I'm just putting it out there.
But you know what? That's just enjoyment of marriage. When you're in a marriage and you can enjoy each other and it's just all fun and you can make each other laugh. It goes a long way.
It does. Until you get on my nerves and I don't want to be around you
Do I
anymore.
make you laugh a lot?
Yeah, of course.
Why you had to think about it that long for this? I swear that was like a whole 10
Ah,
minutes.
no, because I was actually thinking you said that my laugh is contagious, which I don't believe so. But yeah, you said my laugh is contagious. But I'm thinking, is your laugh contagious? To me, no.
No.
But no, it's not contagious. But I do. Yeah. What
Oh,
was the question again? I totally forgot the question.
are you even listening to me?
I am
And
listening,
then
but then
I
my
said
brain.
earlier, oh, you're a good listener. No, you're not.
I
Not
am
to
a good
me.
listen. I am a good listener, but my brain.
Right.
Don't talk to me about listening because you don't listen to anything I say.
Okay, let's move on.
You don't even. You don't even. If you ask me a question, you still have it in your mind. I was
Pedro,
telling you,
I asked you a question.
if you already
Pedro,
knew, if you already knew
Pedro, put a pin
the
in it.
answer that you wanted, why
Pedro,
ask me the
Put a
question?
pin in it. Okay.
I am putting a pin in it.
I asked you.
I'm putting the pen. I'm putting the knife. I'm putting the sword. I'm putting anything I can stick.
Pedro, I asked you a question. I
What was the
said, do I
question?
make you laugh? Jeez.
Yeah, you make me laugh. You making me laugh right now because you all over the map.
I'm all over the map,
Yeah, you're
right?
all over the map.
It's good to always look at yourself.
I
Let's
am looking
move
at
on,
myself,
Pedro. My
but nah,
goodness
you make me laugh.
gracious.
I know I make you laugh, so I don't have to. You don't even have to ask that question.
Mm.
That's why you're with me, isn't it? You're not with me for my good looks. See,
Uh,
just made you laugh. See,
oh my
there you
God.
go, baby. There you go.
Anyway,
Anyway, but like I said, it's one of those
crazy
things.
as heck.
Who's crazy as
You
heck?
think I'm submissive to you? And then we'll be all we be done.
I don't. When you say submissive, submissive in what way? Because you're
Submissive.
kind of strong headed.
Oh, I mean submissive in a way like okay, I don't know. Let me think. Like making decisions. Let's say it's on a bill or something, and I'm like, Pedro, or no, let's say it's tithes and offering, and I'm like, Pedro, did you pay the tithes?
Yeah, you're submissive because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes that's something I've struggled with, but I've been trying to get better at it. So yeah, you just had to try to throw that in there.
I had to think of something.
Yeah. Now you trying to throw me under the bus.
Not
What's
not just
wrong with
saying,
you? Anyway, are you submissive? You have you. I think we are
it
both
basically
working
like
on
when you
being
be like,
submissive towards each other.
dude, when you be
I
like,
think
Tara,
we're
this is what
both
it's gonna be. I'm
being
like, okay,
I think we're both being submissive towards each other. So when it comes to that, I think you are submissive, but we're still both working on that. Even though we're married for 17 years,
hmm
we still can be stubborn in some things with each other.
yeah,
So we are working on being submissive, but in the sense of just being a submissive as a wife and a mother, you are submissive. You still will get your thought across, and you may repeat it 3 and 4 times. You say, I do the same thing. We do it to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when you do it, it's no big deal. But when I do it, it's a problem. But there's a whole nother, like you said, put a pin in it. That's a whole nother story.
You always starting stuff.
I'm not always starting stuff. You just started, so I'm starting back. Shoot, what's wrong with you? But anyway, like I said, I know that. Yeah, you're submissive. In a good way. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing I love about you is that you're not submissive. I don't want somebody that's always gonna be like, yes, sir. Yes, I'm master. Like you were saying earlier, yes, I'm master. Yes, I'm master. Whatever. I ain't your master. I'm
What?
nowhere near
That was
your
just a
master.
joke.
I know that was a joke because you sure don't. You sure don't. I know full well I ain't your master. I know that
I
for a
have a
fact.
master, and it's
I know Jesus
Jesus
Christ. I got you right.
that died on the
I'm
cross
not
for
your
me,
master.
you, and
I am your
everybody
companion.
else.
I'm your companion. I am your significant other. I am your partner. I am your husband. I am your father to your children. I am all those things. I am the person that we're equal.
We are.
You know,
We are. So,
but
real quick question, and then we're gonna end this.
mhm,
So, do you tell me everything?
no.
Oh,
Tell you everything like I did that on purpose because why you ask me that crazy question?
I
Do you
don't
tell
know.
me everything?
Yeah, I tell you. I try to tell you everything.
Exactly. I try to tell you everything.
I try to make sure I'm
Sometimes, no,
completely
no.
honest.
Sometimes I don't remember. Sometimes things happen. Okay, I'm be honest. I tell you everything, but I don't always tell you everything right away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you everything, but I pick and choose some things to tell you when the time is right. Because if I tell you something and I know what your and I know how your reaction is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait till there's a better time to tell you where the reaction would not be
Stingent.
as over the top as if I told you in the beginning.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I do tell you everything. But I'll be honest, sometimes I don't tell you everything right away because
No,
I just know that
no.
is
I meant in the sense of you. You don't feel like you have to lie to me.
I don't have to lie to you at
That's what
all.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
no,
when you
no.
feel like you have to lie to your mate about
No, I
anything,
don't have
it's
to
just
lie
like,
to you.
why you gotta lie? Like,
No, I don't have to lie to you.
why you
No,
gotta
I
be
tell you the
like that?
truth. No, I tell you the truth. Now I used to lie to you all the time, but I learned that don't work. So no, I don't lie to you. I tell you the truth. I don't lie to you because I sometimes you be like, Dad, like Pedro, you could have said that little like really like you just blurt that like really.
Mm-hmm.
I won't hold my tongue when it comes to you. I tell you straight up the truth and honestly, right, boom, right away.
Hmm.
But like I said, sometimes I do hold off on it a little bit just to because I know the reaction that you may have.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me find the right time.
Well, I do agree with that. It is a time and place for
Yeah, there's a time and
everything.
place for everything.
And I think sometimes, depending on, you can tell what type of mood a person's in, then you
Hmm.
can go and say, okay, now I can approach them
Yeah, if I come home and I
and
see that you're
say
not had the
something.
best day, I'm not gonna tell you something that's gonna just piss you off even more. I'll wait. I'll wait till you're in a good mood and be like, oh, by the way, blah blah blah, because then I can kind of soften the blood a little bit. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie and say that. Some people are not gonna agree with me. Some will be like, oh, you should just tell it right away. But no, I think sometimes you have it's just like having an argument. Sometimes when you have an argument and you know where the argument is going, and we do this, we having an argument, we're having a discussion, we're not agreeing with something. We'll say, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's stop.
We'll
Let's
revisit later.
revisit and let's revisit this later.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, your emotion's too high, my emotion's too high.
Mm-hmm.
We're both butting heads, and all we're gonna do is keep hitting each other in the head,
And nobody's listening.
and nobody's listening. You're not
Mm-hmm.
listening to me, so why am I gonna waste my breath? So we're gonna take a break and I'll
Yeah.
come back.
Yes, nothing. I think that's important
Yeah, and then we
to know when to take a break, to know
Mhm.
when to revisit things. So think things through, get your thoughts together, then come back together. And
you
that
don't
way,
no, you don't have to come back
so
together. Sometimes, like for us, I've said this before. For
or
us,
if you can't talk in
we
person,
we talk on the
you go
phone.
in one room, right? And the other person, I'm just saying if they're not in the car at the moment, one person go in the other room, the other person going to call each other on the phone. Because sometimes the best you can get things out for me sometimes just talk to my husband on the phone.
Because you don't like
We
my
have
facial
because his
expressions.
facial expressions bother me. So maybe it'll work for you. So try it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's what I said. But I think we've had our best conversations been on the phone
Yeah.
when I'm driving with mom because I'm working all the time and
Mhm.
I'm driving. But a lot of our best conversations been on the phone.
Yeah.
Where I've been able to say, hey, I didn't like how you handled that, or I don't like what you did to me, and we can have a discussion. And then when we get back in person, then we can talk to each other and get a better understanding.
Yeah. which is good. But it's time for us to get up off this podcast because our kids need to go to bed.
All right, no problem.
So
We want to thank you all for joining us. You want to
thank you,
give us a word of
God.
prayer?
Okay. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for marriages. Thank you for making marriage and uniting um, two people to come together and join together. I'm asking you guys to be with every marriage, every person that's even thinking about marriage to help them to get their things together and pray to you and show them the way they need to go. In your name, amen.
Amen. My name is Pedro,
My name is Tara.
and this is the God is Real and Well podcast. We want to thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We ask that you will come on and if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to just talk to us,
Mm-hmm.
or you want to come be a part of the podcast, you can reach us at thegoddessministry@gmail.com. And again, that's thegoddessministry@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to help support our ministry, because it is always a cash business,
That's right.
you
Donate,
can
baby.
donate. You can
Mm-hmm.
go on Cash App with # Goddard's Land. That's # Goddard's Land.
Mm-hmm.
And in the US, you can go to the real Real and Raw podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have PayPal, you can go at Goddard's Ministry.
That's
So
right.
if you feel inclined, or if you feel like blessing us, we will greatly appreciate it. We would definitely use it for the ministry, and we will use it for to just better ourselves, to bring a better product to you guys.
That's right. Oh, yeah. And one more thing, guys. Check out our store at Zazzle.com. And you can look up the Goddess Ministry and check out our merch.
Oh
We
yeah,
got
our
some merch
merchandise.
over there.
All right.
Got cups, t-shirts, all type of little stuff you can get. So check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also, we haven't talked about it, but my wife does have a single out, On Time.
I do.
On Time. You
On
can go on
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. That's BANCAMP.
It's BAND.
I see BAND. What did I say? BAN?
Mm-hmm.
I can't spell.
Yeah.
BAND
You gotta work on that.
CAMP. Band
Bandcamp.com.
camp.com. Look up Tara Goddard. You have to sign on, and you can buy her single.
Mm-hmm.
It's just £3 in the US, or $3 in the £3 in the UK, or $3 in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and help support a sister. So
Support your girl.
yeah. So you can get back in the studio and start doing that EP.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So again, we just want to thank you all for joining us. You all have a great week.
All righty.
So again, my name is Pedro,
My name is Tara.
and this is the Goddard's
Real and Raw Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.